Welcome to the Koala Call Sheet video series. In this lesson, we're going to learn about many of the preferences you can specify to create the perfect call sheet for your production. As you probably know, Preferences is where you go to modify the look of your call sheet. The first thing you will see is the order of the blocks. This is where you can specify how your call sheet will be built. The default order is seen here, with scenes printed first, then cast, then crew, etc. To change the order or to skip a section entirely, just select the block. So, for example, if I don't want elements to print, which are props, set dressing, costumes, etc., which can only be printed if you imported your call sheet from Gorilla or Chimpanzee, set this block to skip. You can also save up to 3 of your favorite sorts. I'm going to modify this one so that quote of the day is first, and then scenes, then cast, and then crew. Now I'm going to save this as set A. Now I'm going to load the default order once more, which brings scenes as the first block. Then I'm going to load set A, which brings quote of the day as my first block. So, as you can see here, I can save 3 sets, A, B, and C. On the right, you can specify the page setup as US Letter, US Legal, or A4, and certain fonts and sizes for your call sheet. And if you always like a specific call sheet template that you always use, select it here. So, for example, if you select number 12 as your default, when you build a call sheet, you will bypass the template selection window. See how Koala didn't ask me which template I wanted to use. To set it back to none, so that Koala asks you, set the default call sheet to none. Down here, there are tons of options, so I'm only going to go over just a few of the major ones. This one here, that says print crew with department headers, is important. If this is selected, then the departments will also be printed with the crew. Let's take a look. Notice production, camera, grip, sound, art, etc. These are all crew departments. If I deselect that preference, and I'll do that right now and build another call sheet, notice the departments are gone and the crew is listed here. This will sort the crew based on the crew sort number in the crew section, which is here. Right underneath this preference is the Show Vertical Lines preference. Normally, this is checked. If you deselect this and print the call sheet, notice there are no lines separating the text. This is useful if some of the text bleeds over to another column. Down here, you can specify what will print next to the scene on the call sheet. You can select 1, 2, or all 3 of these options. So, for example, if I select board IDs, the call sheet looks like this. These are the board IDs for the cast members needed for each scene. If I select the location and scene note, this is what the call sheet will look like. Notice it prints the location for the scene and the scene note together. Here, in the General tab, there are some more preferences. For instance, this one will display the day first, which is the European way to display a date. Again, there are many preferences here to look at, so take the time to examine them to create the best call sheet for your production. That wraps up this lesson. Have a great shoot.